Thanks.
Okay. All right. So I'm Angela. I'm also a elder, um, and I'm going to school part-time, as well as a coordinator for this project. My expertise is planting. I love planting vegetables. I've been doing this all my life, basically. Um, yeah. Yeah. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you,
I
Angela.
really love this ecological restoration. I've seen your video. That's just amazing.
Thank
Right
you.
on.
Thank you so much.
We'd love to do that here.
Yeah. Who's next? Maybe
Brendan, do you want to go next?
Hey, yeah, my name's Brendan. I'm a student in the Kitigay project. I'm here to learn and just have fun learning.
Nice. Nice to meet you.
About it. That's about it.
And Colin, so Brendan is keen, and everyone is starting with 2 hives of bees. So they're going to start next term or next year with bees. So we have a pretty brutal winter here, but so we're getting the hives in the spring, so we don't have to worry about their survival over winter.
Nice, nice.
Go ahead, Colin.
Hi, my name's Colin. I'm one of the interns in the Kitigay project, and I'm pretty new to agriculture as a whole. So this is like a whole learning experience for me. So pretty excited to see what comes out of it, and hope to be part of this the camp in the future.
Exciting things to learn. Nice to meet you, Colin.
Yeah, you too.
And Desiree, do you want to go next?
My name is Desiree. I'm an intern for the Kitigay project and also a student at the U of M. And I'm learning, I'm new to all of this as well. I've never gardened before, been involved in agriculture in any way. So yeah, it's all very new to me, but I'm really interested in it. But I think my primary interest is in the ecological restoration itself. So I think that's definitely a direction that I might want to go in. I've been really thinking about my career and everything, and what I want to do with my life. And actually, this interests me.
Yeah, so cool that you can learn the practical way via this project. It's really, really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And Jasmine, you're last.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm also an intern and a student as well. I'm pretty new to gardening. I've only been gardening for a year personally, so I'm excited to learn all the traditional and practical usages that we used to do. So, and hopefully pass it along to our youth in the future.
Nice. Yeah. Sounds good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I think I do have some questions because we do have this entire process when we are meeting new camps to get to know you a little better and to see if we are on the same page and if we can already offer you the service that we have so far. So I do have some questions. I was curious about the land because I read somewhere that that the indigenous community owns the lands, or is that correct? And that Kitigay has then a small, or actually I believe a big piece of land, but probably small in the entire area, that you are able to work on. That's 563 hectares, is that correct?
And Louis and Angela might know more about this than I do. So there's a whole, it's such an interesting ecological area. It's everyone knows this. What is this area? It's a calciferous bed. so, so it's quite interesting in that there's an underground lake underneath it, and it goes to this big lake, which is a Great Lake, Lake Winnipeg, right? So there is an area that's already preserved that has orchids and mushrooms and is very, very special. I think that's the 548 acres, but then there's more like 648 acres. Am I right, Louis? That's the Bison Ranch.
Yeah.
And Noam is going to just join us, and he's the Beauconia Research Station. So he's a filmmaker who also has an area that's closer to right near the beach and where people will be camping.
Nice. Hello, Noam. Good to see you. Yeah, and so the Kitigay project, how many hectares or acres will you be working on? How large will that be?
Right now we've got working with 7 out of the 640. However, back in the further fields, there's several open fields that could be used for granary or for hay. But we got to battle those thistles down first.
So there are so in terms of working for agriculture, it's going to start maybe smaller, but there are 648 acres that used to be a bison ranch that are now a thistle ranch, right? So we grow thistles really, really well. And Nome has 23 acres where people are going to camp on at the Beauconia Research Station that are thistles. So we're really good at growing thistles at this point, and which, it's surprising enough, were brought here, the invasive thistles, to feed pigs. And so, it can feed animals, and maybe that's the way to get rid of it, right? So we're looking at Nigerian goats, which are farmed in the area, as a way to get rid of the thistles, which, and it sounds like Jasmine did a post, and there's still lots of interest in bringing bisons back, but bison is big. So, we have to scale up.
All right. And is there already a restoration plan in place? Or I saw somewhere that you would love to hope to get more knowledge or information from our side. Can you tell me a little bit more about your ideas?
Do you want to go? Who wants to go ahead with this first? I'll just present the fact that this coming November 2nd, we have actually 16 architect students working with us, and they're going to present their designs on November 2nd to the community. It's kind of an open house. So we're still in the kind of design stage of things, definitely. But Louis, like we had talked about wild rice.
Yeah, wild rice. We're going to be planting some probably in the next week or so. We're just going to be finding some locations. We have 3 selected, and it's on the Brokenhead River, but they're in kind of like bays area. So they're going to be protected. There's going to be enough water so that they're going to be growing, and not too much water so that they're not going to grow. We've got several ideas in the making. Like I say, we're all brand new to this as well. We want to definitely have food sovereignty. We don't want anybody to be hungry anymore. So definitely, and clearing up our land and the river as well. Like, we plan to get the artesian well, which we would have to drill down about maybe 40 feet to get to the well. But that would be continuously running. Because right now, where we are, at one time, this was a lake, so we're in a basin. So we're right at the bottom of the basin of an old lake, and the lake that was here went down underneath us, so it's down 50 feet. which is very, very clear water. Very, it's just excellent. It's one of the largest lake probably in Western Canada, according to some scientists and whoever investigates that. So we plan to open up the well and let it run back into the river to help out the animals, the ecological system and all that.
That's great.
And maybe this is a good time to introduce Nome. So Nome is with the Beauconia Research Station. And if you could unmute and, because you actually have a story about the artesian well at Beauconia that is similar to what Louis was saying, how, you know, uncapping it really created almost a geyser.
Yeah, I wasn't there. It happened in the 1920s apparently. And some old folks from Beauconia told me the story that it was like an oil, like you see in Texas when they hit the oil and it just, you know, it spurts up way into the air like a geyser. And they said it was it took a lot to control it and cap it. And it's been Beauconia water is apparently very, very good. It runs all year round and it's free. It's the municipality maintains the area, the pump, and it's just across the road from the Beauconia Research Station. And people come from all around to get the water. And the Beauconia Research Station is about 10 minutes by car north from Brokenhead.
So, you know, people have, we're testing the water. We know it's going to have high in calcium and magnesium, but everyone denotes healing properties to this water. And so you'll see people who are ageless coming, all the old people come and get the water there. And you have no idea. They may be 100, they may be 150. We are not sure. But yeah, so it's really a special area where the water, it's a natural spring. Wow. And Nome has this lovely research station that and is a filmmaker, I should say. So we have lots of filmmakers in our group, actually, and I think we're all going to take a filmmaking course as part of this program too.
Nice. Yeah, and I have actually filmed a few things at Brokenhead over the years too, and at Beauconia, and yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you guys. And there was a large artists retreat at the research station that the Plug-in Gallery did a while ago, all about Indigenous placemaking. So the place is very accommodating and it's very off-grid. But in the summertime, it's actually really fun to hang out there. So, and there's a beach nearby. The Beauconia Beach is quite famous too. So nice. You can walk there from the research station.
Nice. So just for my understanding, so currently the restoration plan is still in design, and you are also working with other students on it. So it's not ready yet, but it will be in a couple of weeks or so.
I see it as kind of evolving.
Yeah,
you know, it's not going, like, we're going to have pieces. Like we definitely want to, you know, I think we're, as well as planting wild rice in the river and trying to bring back the river system with, which Louis spoke of, is we're going to have some, you know, swales and create some big ponds at Brokenhead because because we're in a drought cycle here and because we want to see if wild rice paddies would work. Yeah. So and it would be a nice balance to have a swimming pool, but also a marsh. It'll bring so much biodiversity to the area. So there's lots of things we're looking at that's regional, like the hydrological system is cleaning up the water through these artesian wells will change so much of the area.
I understand. All right. And just for me to understand, because usually an ERC camp is a site, and they usually have some infrastructure ready to host campers, to invite people maybe from all over the world, but sometimes maybe in your case, people from Canada or the US who are very interested in what you are doing and they want to learn more and maybe help or attend one of a course that you might develop. So from my understanding, is it correct that those campers will go to NOAM, or do you have other infrastructure where you will host the campers?
Well, so the idea would be that they would stay at least at first at the 23 acres with NOAM there. And, Brokenhead does have infrastructure, like we have a roundhouse and some things at the farm, but we're building them basically we're doing a small house workshop and building a house. So we have a local sawmill, we're using local wood, and we're developing maybe I'd have to talk to everyone about this and figure out if this is what people want. But it seems we have a conservation manager who's part of our program who does forestry. And Brokenhead has the forest management license with 3 other First Nations for a huge area, the boreal forest all along the east side, which is half of Manitoba, basically. So it would be nice to see where that advances. So having said that, there's lots of potentials for house building with local lumber.
Yeah. Also, we do have an area back of the roundhouse, not too far from our farm, where we had teepee structures, and we still have the teepees, but they're not being used at the moment. So, like for visitors, we could probably set up those with permission, of course, from Chief and Council.
That sounds good. So assume that you will start, I don't know, with the ERC camp soon. How many people do you think you can host right now? Maybe more thinking in spring or?
Yeah, so just with the weather in Canada, they would want to come in spring.
Yeah.
And no, do you think 12 to 20, or what do you think? Or like we could do more than that, but just as a start,
Yeah, I think that was about what the Plug-in Institute of Contemporary Art had. It was between 12 maybe and 15 artists that were there, and everybody brought tents. One person, we have a little kind of one season shack, like a tiny house on there now, and one of the participants didn't have a tent. She stayed in the shack. That was but there's a sweat lodge and kind of a food prep area, rainwater barrel, outhouse, and then the acreage where people could just find, branch out, find little camp zones for themselves, either in the field. There's also some forest. There's tons of crown land too that nobody cares about, so people could really stretch out if they needed to. And I don't really think I don't think there's really a cap. I guess it's just how many people want to come and how many need to be there and whatever you're trying to do. But it's very open. The Beauconia Research Station is a really fluid kind of space. We've done all sorts of wacky things out there, and as long as people don't mind wood ticks if they come too early in the summer. It's a very wood ticky kind of place. In between certain, what are the months for wood ticks that are, April and June is you'd have to make sure that you were on tick patrol.
And chickens will help with that. Like, honestly, whenever I have chickens, my dog never gets ticks, so they really eat the ticks. It's food for them.
I haven't gotten Lyme disease yet, and I've had about 1,000 ticks on me. So wait 1 second. Just joking.
Yes, it's an issue here in Europe as well.
Yeah.
Ticks, yeah.
Yeah.
Another point which is very important for us for the ERC, if we work with new camps, if campers are coming over to your site, that we know that you have a health and safety policy in place, and maybe even a liability insurance. Does Kitigay has an entity, a legal entity, or how is it set up that you can assure that you maybe can have an insurance, or
we have insurance.
Okay.
Yes. I'm trying to remember that there is definitely liability insurance, because there's actually a little bit of a mortgage on the property, so we had to insure just the structure, but also because the TransCanada Trail goes through it, and you know, I don't know if you know what the TransCanada Trail is, but it's this walking path that goes from ocean to ocean across the entire country, and it goes right through the property. And so if someone was to fall or, you know, injure themselves, I'm not liable on the TransCanada Trail. We had to do that. So yeah, okay. There's something there. I can find out what it is and send you a copy.
Oh, great. Is that a legal entity as well, like a nonprofit organization that is behind that, or?
No, it's just private property. Beauconia Research Station. There's no nonprofit or no. It's just owned by me. But yeah, the TransCanada Trail is kind of a nonprofit thing like that, where they assemble these plots of land, and it's so that people could walk across the whole country if they wanted to. And I have just the part that the trail that is the trail. I've leased it to the Red River Trail Association. They're called. They actually go through Brokenhead too. You could walk on the TransCanada Trail from Beauconia to Brokenhead,
which is so cool. So everyone, it will be linked. And I think if everyone's okay, Louis, Angela, Jasmine, Colin, should I incorporate Kitigay? Do you guys want it as a nonprofit?
I think we should discuss that a little more as a group.
Yeah. So definitely I can pay for any extra insurance as well, is what I'm saying. But it might be a nice, so Kitigay means to plant. And yeah, so we'll talk about that. Right now it got a presence, but it's kind of under the university at the moment.
Okay.
And under BON Development Corps, which is a for-profit.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Maybe it's good to have another chat when you discuss that later on. Yeah, one of the regular questions that I ask is the community involvement, but I feel that this is such a beautiful and special initiative that I already wrote down yes, but maybe you can say something more about it.
Louis or Angela, do you want to say?
Is it a long relationship with the Indigenous community and the university, or is it new? Or yeah, I'm curious.
This project just started. It's brand new. And how we are getting the community involved is through a Facebook postings every day, and asking them for their ideas as well, on what to plant or what kind of animals to farm or whatever they would like. You know, we would like to hear their ideas as well. So we can do that or try to do that.
Nice.
And it came out of a strategic plan from the community that the university didn't have anything to do with in 2008 or something, 2000, anyways, much earlier. And, you know, it's kind of funny that it's actually following right in line and delivering all that thing that the community separate from the university developed. So we're kind of bringing it out and making that a part of our road, our path, I think.
That's wonderful. That's so great.
Yeah, we have been farmers probably for generations, and you know it's still in our DNA to be farmers, as land carers as well. I mean that's part of our job as First Nations people is to respect the land and take care of her, and I hold that very deeply in my heart, that we want to bring her back the way she was before. And definitely with planning and organizing, it could be very, very beautiful again. Yes, thank you.
Wonderful set. It's so, it's a beautiful initiative. Thank you for your initiative and your work. Let me see what I still have. Another important thing for us, and I think this is something that you might be interested in as well, is that we do data collection on every site, on every camp. And we start with a baseline study, and we created our own framework, which is quite easy to use. And it is mandatory actually for new camps to do the data collection, and they can either do it themselves, or maybe if that doesn't work, then we maybe can find a student, but probably you will have people who are able to do that as well.
Oh yeah, people can do that. They're great.
Okay.
Actually, yesterday in our class, what we do is everything that we're doing with the farm, it's going to be recorded, all kinds of data, you know, what we receive, what is going to come out of it. Everything is going to be recorded, from what costs 10 cents, what costs $100. It'll be all in a spreadsheet.
That's great. So, yeah, that's great to hear. Thank you. And what about finances? Because I heard that it will be financed in the upcoming years by the university. And I also read something about educational activities that you can offer, courses or farm sales. Can you tell me a little bit more about your ideas for a sustainable plan of this project?
We are getting a coordinator to handle all the grants that they're going to be looking for. They're going to be looking for money. They're going to be looking for partners. So yeah, that coordinator is going to have a lot of work to do. I think the university is only going to be with us for 2 years. So we definitely want to be sustainable after that. Okay, thank you, Shirley. So we want to be definitely going continuously. We don't want to stop. Once this is rolling, and it is started, we don't want to stop. So
nice. And will you see ERC camps, maybe organizing camp experiences? Do you see that as a way of income as well?
It could be. One of our knowledge keepers, he has been, you know, organizing tours for many years, from the Netherlands, from Germany, from all over the world. They've come and lived here. They stayed in the teepees. You know, they did outdoor recreation. He showed them the plants, the area, the medicines that we have.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're very knowledgeable in that area. But again, it has to be brought back. Everything has been kind of forgotten, taken away from us, kind of.
Yes.
And so we're doing permaculture courses. Each of these students are doing kind of courses on their own right now, but we're going to be doing some train the trainer courses as well, which will be great. So then they can pass it on, right? Like the beauty of this is you're changing yourself, you're changing and working with nature to restore it, but also it's a wave of change that influences other people. Hopefully.
That's great.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. That's yeah. I think that's one of our philosophy as well, sharing knowledge and helping each other to grow. And therefore, therefore communications is also very important to us. With camp managers, we usually have like a direct WhatsApp chat with each other, so we can update each other every once in a while to see how everything is going. And we created a knowledge exchange platform where we where all the camp managers have access to, but also the advisory council. And probably in a year, we want to make it live for everyone. So there's lots of in-depth knowledge about ecosystem restoration, different biomes. So it will be very, very interesting. Are you willing to share knowledge as well and give us share a video or a photo with us every once in a while? I see everyone nodding yes. We're excited about that.
I think we love taking the pictures, taking the videos. It's just awesome to be doing, like what we're doing is definitely totally not new because it has been done before by our ancestors, but reviving it, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, and Jasmine, Desiree, Angela, they're all putting stuff up on YouTube. And Angela, I loved your video. That was such a hoot of they made picnic tables from local wood, and it was just hilarious. This one. So we're starting a YouTube channel for John. John is the conservation manager. He used to have that job, but now he's teaching us fishing and hunting and forestry. Nice. So and he's got a film crew. I don't know who that film crew is, but it's part of this group.
That's wonderful to hear. I think it's so important to make people aware of what you're doing, and also if you will become an ERC camp, it's really good that the supporters that we are connected to, that they get a feeling with what you're doing, so that they are excited to maybe visit your site or learn more. So yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
We're doing things like taking samples, right? And so you will have a baseline for the water. And so we're doing that on Tuesday, guys. So you're going to learn how to take samples so you can do it on an ongoing basis, and soil and different like metrics. Like something I think everyone is concerned about is the water, and we want to show that we're improving it, and that it's it's healing qualities as well, right?
Yeah. And what we're doing too, everything is cultural oriented. It's like with ceremonies, prayers, it's all cultural, and that's helping us to get back to our roots as well.
That's beautiful. I feel we are so disconnected to nature ourselves. That's wonderful. All right. Are there any questions from your end? Because I asked a lot, but maybe you have some questions for me.
Okay, like we're going to have some visitors, but how about if we go to visit some camp? Was that possible?
Yes, I mean, it is possible to visit other ERC camps. We do not have any camp in Canada yet. So you will be the first if you will become one. But we do have some in the US. And yeah, I mean, we are not financially in a position to finance the trip. But we can definitely, if you will become part of the ERC, then you will connect with other camp managers. That's the whole idea, to learn from each other, to exchange knowledge, but also maybe to empower each other in some hard times. So it's really, we feel like sort of that we are empowering each other to do the work, which sometimes is quite difficult.
Yeah.
Visiting other sites is definitely, I think everyone would be happy to visit each other's sites. Yes.
Terrific. Dr. Shirley,
And I bet there will be funding from U of M. Like for conferences, we always have funding for conferences, right? We'll just make it out as a conference presentation.
Good idea.
Yes.
You'll present too.
Yes, that would be so, yeah, that would be really fun. Maybe we can think of that. I don't know. But yeah, no. Do you have any other questions? No.
I noticed you're based in the Netherlands, and there is actually a Dutch artist who's done a lot of work with the environment from Rotterdam. I don't know if you know him. His name is Joop van Lieshout. Have you heard of him before? Anyways, he has a very deep relationship with Manitoba, where we're from, our province. And his first exhibit in North America was here in Manitoba. And he's an interesting person. He has a whole eco environment in Rotterdam on the wharf that he works on. So I just thought I should just flag that for you, since you are in Amsterdam, and Joop van Lieshout has a very strong history with our province. Just something to think about in the future.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I'm quickly Googling him.
Yeah, he's quite a contentious character but he works a lot with environment and eco and sculpture and all that kind of thing. And anyways, you'll probably find some Dutch articles that are outraged by him too. So he's fun, and
Yeah.
he started his North American career right here in Manitoba.
Ah, nice. I will look up to him. Oh, I see Christina is saying something in the chat that we are working on getting an EU funding to get camps to visit each other and cooperate each other. So we are working on that as well, and other possibilities in other areas. Yeah. Yeah, it's really a nice idea. All right. Are there any other questions? Christina, maybe you still have a question that you would really like to ask, or not?
Not really. I missed part of the chat, unfortunately, because of bad connection while on the way, but I'm happy that I was able to listen to most of it. And I wanted to thank you all for sharing all of this with us. It's indeed a very interesting project. So yeah, thank you.
Well, thanks, Christina. Shirley recorded the Zoom meeting, so maybe she is willing to share the recording with everyone.
Definitely I will. And so what are the next steps? Like, I think we're kind of wanting to move forward. What do you see as the next steps for our group?
Yes, so the next steps will be that Christina and I will discuss your project with our team. And we will talk over, we do have some important points that are very important for us to approve new camps. The only thing that I'm just going to be honest, the only thing that I'm still thinking, ooh, that would be really good to have is the legal entity. That is something we prefer to work only with legal entities. And this is especially when we are transferring any money, maybe in the future, to the project, that we are accountable in what we're doing. So this would be really helpful if you are gonna think about this and tell me your ideas. But I will discuss, yeah?
And so we'll talk about amongst ourselves whether, like, there is an entity called the BON Development Corps, whether we want to be under that, or, you know, I've started so many not-for-profits with different communities. It's quite easy to start a not-for-profit, and especially when there's training involved, like there's no question that it's a not-for-profit and has a social purpose, right? So there's no kind of need to justify why it is. And then it has a board of directors, so it would be community board of directors that, you know, part of this team, right? So yeah, that could be done in a week, really.
Okay, well, that's good to know. But yeah, that's I think it's a lovely project, and I think it's great what you're doing, the involvement of Indigenous community working with the university and a research center. And I really feel this is so great, and restoring the land. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful project. And so I will share it with the team and hopefully make the directors and everyone else excited as well. And afterwards, if they are, then I will tell you so. And then we have the final check, which is with the advisory council and the supervisory board. So it's a sort of it's a network check. So we will tell a little bit about your project, and they will see if they know anyone. And only if there are big red flags, then they're like, maybe this, we shouldn't do that. But it's just more a formality, to be honest. But that's how it works. And then we have a memorandum of understanding that we then sign together, and then we can start and create a camp page for you on our website, and we can announce you as a new camp. And then we will sit together to maybe discuss any ideas for the first year together. Do we want to organize a camp experience together? Maybe want to see how we can help with ecosystem restoration ideas, or that we can help with the baseline study, or organizing a bigger event. Maybe camps can join to your side, or I don't know, just discussing ideas and see where we can help. That's how it generally works. So yeah.
That's great. And with the university, it would be easy for us to organize a conference and invite other communities. That might be
that would be awesome. Yeah, we are currently ourselves working more together with the Wageningen University. I don't know if you know them. They're in the Netherlands. They're quite agricultural. So maybe we can connect, or I don't know. There are loads of opportunities and see, yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And this initiative, this project is so great. I think it's a beautiful story for the world to know about. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time, Inga and Christina. And thank you to the Kitigay group, who is Colin, Angela, Brendan, Jasmine, and Noam from Beauconia Research Station. So thank you. And so we're really hoping for the best and anticipating, and we'll meet around this idea of, you know, whether we want it as a co-op might be a nice structure. Like, co-ops are not easy to form, but I've formed them before for fishing co-ops. So that might be a nice structure for this development court. And because many of them are starting small businesses as part of their program with, they're taking a agriculture entrepreneurship course as part of this. So yeah, so that might be the form, or a nonprofit is easy too. And you know, we can have more than one thing. It's not expensive, right? To start a nonprofit.
Well, let me know what your thoughts or decisions are. And if you do have any questions concerning ERC or what we're doing, then you can always email me as well. And I think that I'm able to let you know next week if we are able to present you to the advisory council and the supervisory board or not, and if so, why not? So yeah, thank you so much for this, for your time in this conversation.
Thank you. Okay, you take care, and we're hoping for the best.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.
Nice
Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.